You don't sleep much at camp. There's that phenomenon.
Dun, 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 at the wrong hours.
The candle arrives with 2 wicks at the end of each end, when you come to camp.
I think that's why when you go out to the pond and stuff, you take these little cat naps in the sun.
Skinny dipping with Patria and thinking Herb didn't know about it.
And it was at that moment in time that some kid decided to throw up.
There's nothing quite like the sound of vomit on a hardwood floor in the middle of a night from an upper bunk.
I remember sometimes we would irritate Herb Hammer because we would walk in places we weren't supposed to be walking or something like that.
Actually, everybody in the family started there before I did.
Oh, well, now he's doing his job.
Oh, I never crossed my mind to work there.
You don't want to make him mad. No, you don't want to make him mad.
Howdy, partner. Want to draw?
1 hen, 2 ducks.
Hands up. Hands down.
3 squawking geese, 4 limerick oysters.
Hands across.
We had Aristotle Carpacciopoulos.
Hey there, you're a real cool cat. You got a lot of this and you got a lot of that. Come on down.
Give me a Y, give me an M, give me a C, give me an A.
You drop the sheet and you put the flashlights behind it. There's the operation where you're pulling out stuff.
And that was the best part, I think, about being the director, is you got to own the Y chair.
And then you got snoring issues constantly once people do go to sleep.
Horizontal time after lunch was in somebody's imagination. It never really, truly happened.
Then you got people tricking off to the bathroom and getting lost and falling in the toilet. That's always fun.
Well, we all answered phones for Priscilla when we needed to. We all ran the camp store. We all stole cookies out of the cabinet.
Gerry made it a delightful place to work and live. Gerry and Jean.
Yeah, I like Jones Gulch.
Gerry took a group of people that were working and through his leadership and kind of father figure role turned us into a big family.
It's definitely an unforgettable place, unforgettable people.
I never cease to be amazed at how wonderful this place is.
It just creates its own environment and its own magic, and I think that we have that.
It was one of those times in life where I was at exactly the right place, at exactly the right time.
It was just really fun.
It was a happy time. For us, it was.
It is the best job I ever had.
I wanted to know how much time I had because this was so perfect.
Is the single motivator for me being committed to youth.
I really believe in the YMCA. I sure do.
It wasn't just cooking. You served them in different places. There was just more to it. It was more personal than just cooking.
I think Gerry was Jones Gulch, or Jones Gulch was Gerry to me.
I wouldn't give anything in the world to have missed this, and I wouldn't have changed it for anything.
And this whole atmosphere just floated through this camp.
Those were the people, and that was the place where the people were that were helping to guide me.
He was there. He was the king on the hill, but he wasn't a king. He was there. He was present.
And he was kind of like he was the mayor of a really small town. And even if it was an elected mayorhood, I think he still probably would have been elected mayor. Or father. A little bit of both.
You have to make sacrifices, and I think Gerry and Jean made a lot of them that I think a lot of people don't realize, And he was present hours and hours of times when we were here and never saw him, but he was there. He was always here.
Wonderful place that I called home for quite a few years.
I heard that there was an opening at Jones Gulch through a good YMCA friend. They invited me out along with several other fellows to be interviewed for the job. We were picked up at the airport and brought out to the Gulch, and you know, it was like going out to paradise after living in Texas for 25 years. I mean, there were a lot of green places in Texas, but nothing like the redwood valleys and oak forests in Jones Gulch. Yeah, I'd been in that area, knew about the camp, and actually been in the camp. So they gave me a royal tour and an interview with the board of directors, and asked us to meet some of the staff, and they had some on their interviewing team that were staff members such as Priscilla and the office manager.
Yeah, he came down here to interview for the job. And that's when I first met him. Ted Metro brought him down. And Len Hensler and Betty Hamilton and I. Oh, he was real nice. He was the one we wanted to have the job.
I, of course, didn't know for a couple of weeks whether I was going to have the job or not. But Gene and I both came out for the interview. Well, I'd hoped I'd get the job, and a lot of them said I would, but you know, you don't know until the final decision's made. Well, they called and then sent me a letter. The changeover date was in August, September in 1974. I mean, Jean was just the camp director's wife, and she just filled in various spots, but she was never on the staff during those early years. And Jean had been related to the kitchen and the staff over the years in other camps. I've never worked directly in a position, but she filled in on so many. And so I said, Jean, you're just going to have to take over at this point because we needed somebody in that job.
Well, for me it wasn't bad because I have always felt that you're in a group and you're part of the group, and if you're the leader of the group, you don't have to push and shove and grind, and you know, you should be in line with the other people. We were lucky that we had the kind of staff we had, and people just rolled with whatever they had to do, and there was very little bickering, very little wearing down of other people. It was just an easy job.
What people don't know about Gerry, because it's not self-evident, the heart of Gerry is steel. The thing is, though, that it's covered with all of this warmth and caring and compassion and flexibility. I've seen it happen that people mistake that for some kind of weakness, and that they don't realize what kind of core he has. You're coming into his world, and he is simply stretching himself out, and that's a real strength.
He set a tone of caring.
Gerry was there. He welcomed them. He made sure everything was there.
Gerry was definitely an adult. He was grown up.
Gerry really was as good as it gets when it comes to camping.
Here's our home, and we're inviting all of these guests into it, and we will see to their needs as they need to be. That's what it felt like, always.
You bend over backwards to serve the clients.
I don't recall ever getting a no from anybody on the Jones Gulch staff.
It was a thrill for me to work with these people.
An expectation of meeting the needs of whoever, whenever, with whatever they needed.
And enhance their experience at camp.
From the lifeguards to the wranglers to the naturalists, they were all a resource, and they looked at themselves as being a resource.
It makes it a family instead of a job.
You felt like you were the only one in their world at that moment they were dealing with you.
Meals out at the picnic area and at the outpost. And we carried meals to the beach. And I mean, there was such a variety of things that we did that were possible and were able to do because of the staff that we had. And I mean, it enriched all of the groups that we had there as well as our own staff. And so it was a very remarkable camp, I think.